General Hospital spoilers for the week of February 9 are already floating around, drifting everywhere, like noise you wake up to before coffee. Maybe that is the point. Start the day with something loud, something messy, something that feels like too many thoughts at once. Predictions are never clean anyway. They never sit still. They move when you are not looking. First there is Rick. There is always Rick somehow, slipping back into conversations when people think he has already left. Is Rick developing something new with Liz? It looks like it, feels like it, even if nobody wants to say it straight. Liz does not seem as hard as she used to be. Not frozen, not guarded the same way. Something about her posture around Rick has shifted, just slightly, enough to notice if you are paying attention. She accepts Rick as a boyfriend. That sounds simple when written down, but nothing with Rick is ever simple. And then there is Molly, Rick's daughter. Does Molly accept this? That question hangs in the air like it does not want to be answered. It is difficult to know what Molly really thinks because she does not ask, she does not push, she does not seem curious in the way daughters usually are. If Rick and Molly were close, really close, then Rick would have talked. He would have talked about being kidnapped, about the fear, the helplessness, the humiliation of it, but he did not. That silence says something. Or maybe it says many things at once. Rick probably slipped once. A word here, a phrase there, something that should not have been said out loud. Not intentional. Just tired, distracted, thinking he was safe. Molly could have exploded if she knew the full story. She could have gone looking for revenge, justice, something sharp and immediate. But she does not know much. Or she pretends not to. She does not ask. Or she asks just enough to say she tried without really wanting the answer. That distance between father and daughter stays there, awkward, unresolved, and it bleeds into Rick and Liz whether they want it to or not. Nathan and Lulu are moving too, quietly, carefully. They are developing feelings, real ones, the kind that grow when you are not trying to grow them. And then news comes in. Maxie wakes up. The timing could not be worse, or maybe it could not be more perfect, depending on who you ask. Nathan and Lulu will probably be shocked. Of course they will. Anyone would be. But shock does not automatically mean surrender. Are they going to end what they have started? Probably not. They do not want anything bad to happen. They are not villains in their own story. They are just people who stumbled into something warm when everything else felt cold. They also do not want Maxie stepping into their relationship, touching it, questioning it, rewriting it. So for now, they keep it quiet. They keep loving each other in whispers and looks, in pauses between conversations. Secrets do not always mean guilt. Sometimes they just mean fear. Valentine's Day is coming. And in Port Charles, that usually means everything speeds up, emotions get louder, choices get sharper. Curtis and Jordan are together on Valentine's Day. That much seems clear. They fit in a way that feels stable, grounded, like two people who know exactly what they are choosing. But there is someone watching from the outside, someone alone. That someone is probably Portia. Portia, the lonely one. It feels almost ironic, but who is there to blame really? Portia cheated. Portia betrayed Curtis first. Actions echo longer than people expect. Valentine's Day does not forgive. It just highlights. Being alone that day feels heavier than any other day, and Portia will feel it, whether she admits it or not. Sidwell enters the picture like trouble always does. There is a woman who might be hurt on Valentine's Day because of him, or maybe two. Sidwell has to choose between Ava and Lucy. That choice does not feel fair, but it is still a choice. Ava seems more attractive, more dangerous, more compelling in that way that pulls people in even when they know better. Lucy feels the shift. She always does. She becomes the lonely one instead. But Lucy is not the type to accept that quietly. She does not just nod and walk away. She reacts. She pushes back. This could turn into a confrontation, maybe even a fight. Lucy versus Ava, words sharp, emotions spilling everywhere. Sidwell might witness it by accident. Standing there as the chaos he created unfolds in front of him. Britt and Jason. Valentine's Day again. Different energy. They are close, tangled, comfortable in a way that surprises people. Jason is not known for softness, but Britt seems to draw it out of him. They spend the day together, not loudly romantic, but intensely present. There is a prediction floating around that Britt might be pregnant after a few weeks. It sounds sudden. It sounds unbelievable. But stranger things have happened. And if there is a baby, then yes, Jason is the father. That idea alone could shift everything. Valentin is moving too, quietly, like he always does. There is a possibility of feelings forming between him and Carly. Secret feelings. Dangerous feelings. Carly is still Brennan's girlfriend. Brennan is actively hunting Valentine as a criminal on the run. That alone is enough to make everything feel like a bad idea. Carly cannot make anything public. She knows that. She understands the risks. But secrecy has never stopped her before. They could meet in shadows, in borrowed time, in moments that are not meant to exist. They might still try, because sometimes wanting something is stronger than logic, stronger than safety, stronger than fear. Then there is Charlotte and Danny, the thing nobody wants to talk about but everyone thinks about. They are related. Family lines cross in ways that should matter, but what if they ignore that? What if they pretend it is not important? What if they meet secretly, convincing themselves it is harmless, temporary, something they can control? Port Charles has never been good at boundaries. Charlotte is also working on something else, a plan aimed at Nina. Charlotte does not want to hear explanations. She does not want excuses. She has already decided who Nina is in her mind. That makes Nina dangerous territory. Or maybe Charlotte is the dangerous one. If Charlotte is willing to act suddenly, impulsively, without warning, then Nina could be in real trouble, life-threatening trouble. And nobody sees it coming because they underestimate Charlotte, because they think she is just a child. And everything keeps moving. Rick and Liz keep circling each other, trying to pretend that history does not weigh as much as it does. Liz tells herself she deserves something steady now, something uncomplicated. But Rick carries complications like scars under his clothes. They show when he least expects them to. Liz notices, she always notices, she just does not always comment. Molly watches from a distance. She sees enough to feel uncomfortable, but not enough to act. That limbo is its own kind of pain. She tells herself she does not care. She tells herself it is none of her business. But family always finds a way back into your thoughts late at night when you cannot sleep. Nathan and Lulu keep smiling in public. Too bright sometimes, like they are overcompensating. Maxie waking up changes the room temperature instantly. Conversations pause. People look at each other differently. Nathan feels guilt creep in even when he knows he did nothing wrong. Lulu feels protective of herself, of what they have. She does not want to give it up just because timing is cruel. Valentine's Day decorations go up. Hearts everywhere. Red everywhere. It feels almost mocking. Curtis and Jordan walk together, hands brushing, sharing quiet jokes. They do not need grand gestures. Portia sees them. Of course she does. It hurts more than she expected. Regret is louder on days like this. Sidwell pretends he is not choosing, but by not choosing, he chooses anyway. Ava knows she has power. Lucy knows she is losing it. Sparks fly. Words are said that cannot be taken back. Sidwell stands there, realizing too late that charm is not protection. Britt laughs more than usual around Jason, maybe because she is happy, maybe because she is nervous. Jason watches her carefully, like he is memorizing something. The idea of a child is not spoken yet. It does not need to be. It is there, in the space between them, waiting. Valentine watches Carly from afar. He understands danger. He lives in it. That makes him reckless sometimes. Carly senses it. She is drawn to it. Brennan is close. Too close. The secret feels heavier every day. Charlotte sharpens her resolve. Nina remains unaware. Or maybe she senses something is wrong but cannot name it. That is often how disaster begins. Nothing is settled. Everything is shifting. That is Port Charles. That is General Hospital. Every week promises answers and delivers more questions. And maybe that is exactly why people keep watching. Things do not slow down after that. They never do. Port Charles does not know how to pause. It just stacks one feeling on top of another until something cracks. Rick starts to notice the silence from Molly more clearly. At first he pretends it is nothing. Teenagers get distant. Adults get busy. Life happens. But then there are moments. Awkward ones. Molly avoiding eye contact. Molly answering with one word when there should be more. Rick wonders if he said too much that day or not enough. He replays conversations in his head late at night, staring at the ceiling. Liz notices his distraction. She asks if he is okay. He says yes. He always says yes, even when it is a lie. Liz herself is tired of being careful. She spent years building walls, rules, routines. Rick, slipping back into her life, messes with that structure. Some days she likes it, some days she hates it. She tells herself she is stronger now, wiser. But strength does not erase history. It just teaches you how to carry it without dropping everything. Molly keeps moving through her days, pretending nothing bothers her. But there is a difference between not caring and not wanting to know. She is in the second category. If she digs, she might find things she cannot unsee. So she keeps it light, casual, almost indifferent. That scares Rick more than anger ever could. Nathan and Lulu feel the pressure tightening. Maxie being awake again shifts dynamics instantly. Conversations get layered. Looks get complicated. Nathan feels torn between past and present. Lulu refuses to apologize for loving someone. She has lost too much already. She is not giving this up quietly. They agree to keep things private, for now, not forever, just until they can breathe again. Maxie senses something is off. She always does. She smiles, she thanks people, she reassures everyone she is fine. But she watches, she listens, she files things away. Secrets rarely stay buried around her. Valentine's Day arrives like a spotlight. Curtis and Jordan move easily together. There is comfort there. Familiarity without boredom. They exchange gifts that mean something, not flashy, not performative. Portia watches from a distance, telling herself she deserves this loneliness. Some part of her believes it, another part resents it deeply. She wonders what would have happened if she had chosen differently. That thought is dangerous. She pushes it away, but it keeps coming back, especially when she is alone that night. No plans, no distractions. Sidwell miscalculates. He thinks he can juggle emotions like he juggles deals. Ava enjoys the attention. Lucy feels it slipping. When the confrontation happens, it is messy, loud. Emotions spill over. Ava does not back down. Lucy does not either. Sidwell realizes too late that he underestimated both women. The damage is done. Even if he tries to fix it, something has already broken. Britt wakes up on Valentine's Day feeling strange. Not sick, just off. She brushes it aside. Stress maybe, or excitement. Jason notices anyway. He always notices. He asks if she is okay. She says yes. Another yes, that might not be true. They spend the day together in a quiet way. No big declarations, just presence. It means more than words. Later, when Britt is alone, she sits on the edge of the bed, thinking, counting days, remembering moments. The idea forms slowly. Not panic, not joy, just awareness. Something might be different now. Jason senses change before it is spoken. He has lived long enough to recognize it. He does not push, he waits. That is his way. Valentin watches Carly laugh with Brennan. It irritates him more than it should. He tells himself it is strategic concern, nothing more, but his reactions betray him. He seeks Carly out in quieter moments. Conversations become charged, brief, intense. They never cross the line in public. That is the rule. In private, the line blurs. Carly knows she is playing with fire. She has always known. That never stopped her. Brennan is close to catching Valentin. That knowledge hangs between Carly and Valentin every time they meet. It adds urgency. It adds recklessness. They tell themselves they can stop any time. That is usually how it begins. Charlotte grows more withdrawn, observant, calculating. She watches Nina closely. Every word Nina says feels wrong to her. Every explanation feels like manipulation. Charlotte does not want to hear context. She wants consequences. She plans quietly. That is what makes it dangerous. Nobody sees it coming because Charlotte does not announce herself. Danny becomes a distraction, comfort, confusion. Their connection is wrong on paper. They both know it. That knowledge does not erase the feelings. It complicates them. They meet in places where they are unlikely to be seen. They justify it by telling themselves it is temporary, that it does not mean anything. But secrecy gives things weight whether you want it or not. Nina senses tension but misreads it. She thinks time will soften things. She thinks explanations will help. She underestimates Charlotte's resolve. That mistake could cost her dearly. When danger comes, it comes fast, without warning, without time to prepare. Rick finally tries to talk to Molly. It does not go well. She listens, sort of. She nods. She asks surface-level questions. He offers honesty, but she does not reach for it. The gap remains. Liz watches this exchange from afar, realizing that loving Rick means inheriting his fractures too. Nathan and Lulu face Maxie sooner than expected. The conversation is heavy, emotional, not explosive, just sad in places. Maxie processes more than she lets on. She does not confront them directly. Not yet. She needs time. Time is something nobody in Port Charles ever has enough of. Portia runs into Curtis unexpectedly. The interaction is polite, brief, painful. She realizes that closure does not always come with dramatic speeches. Sometimes it comes with distance. Sidwell deals with the fallout. Ava walks away satisfied. Lucy walks away wounded. Neither forgets. Neither forgives easily. Britt finally takes a test. She stares at the result longer than she expects. Jason knocks on the door. She hesitates, then opens it. The future shifts quietly in that moment. Valentine makes a move that puts him closer to capture or freedom. It is hard to tell. Carly watches the pieces move, realizing she is more involved than she intended. Charlotte sets her plan in motion. Nina remains unaware. The calm before the storm stretches thin. And the week ends the way it always does, with tension unresolved, secrets intact, love complicated. Port Charles breathes in, waiting for the next explosion.